Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the March 9th work session. I'd ask everybody to please silence their cell phones and please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd ask for a moment of silent reflection, and please keep our U.S. military in your prayers. Thank you very much. Agenda approval, I need an amendment under legal. We're going to do a quick executive session for consultation with the attorney. And anybody else have anything to add to the agenda? Anything?
I have a resolution relative to Riverfront Park.
Riverfront Park, okay.
And in old business, I believe we're going to take up the stormwater district for Essex, the Essex development.
Okay. Can I get a motion to amend the agenda? I'll make that motion. Second. All in favor? Aye. Approved. Motion carried. I just wanted to mention that Rob Morial, Councilman Morial, is on our Zoom feed. He is on vacation and he will not be voting, but he is on the Zoom feed. He's excused. Approval of the meeting minutes for the February 9th work session. I'll make that motion. Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And our approval of the minutes for our regular town board meeting on February 23rd.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Abstract of claims, Councilwoman Webster.
Yes, for March 9th, 2026, I move to approve the regular abstract claims 25-03717 through 25-03720 and 26-00411 through 26-00580. I recommend payment in the amount of $711,169.38 with no post audit.
It's a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Department head statements. Bridget, anything from the clerk's office? Pardon? Yeah. Sure.
So Harbor Building Systems, like change order, totaling the cost of $2,590. This is for the full barn outside of Town Hall. This is for them to supply and install 2 5-inch gutters and 2 2x3-inch downspouts, and supply and install 1 row of snow bar on each side of the roof. This would be out of the H97 fund.
And that totals $2,590. Can I get a motion to approve the change order?
I'll make a motion to approve the change order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
No, this just was something that was missed in the original bid.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, it wasn't included with the original.
Okay, well, yeah. Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Chief, anything?
Nothing.
Tim, anything? Nick, anything?
Nothing.
You know, Mike, go ahead.
I've got a couple things. We resumed the Cliff Road project today. We have a small detention pond on Oak Hill side that we need to finish up. So we started that today, and the highway department is going to be purchasing a payloader. We were budgeted for it last year. I believe we budgeted $250,000. They came in at $260,000. But we had another piece of equipment that we were budgeted for last year as well that we're not going to purchase, so we do have the money in the budget to purchase that.
Okay. It's from who?
John Deere, 5-star.
5-star John Deere, and the total amount is $260,000.
$260,404, I believe.
404. And you checked, I know there was a situation, this is a John Deere, you had another bid for a Volvo.
Correct.
That was what, $7,000 less? But all our equipment fits John
The
Deere.
John Deere, yes.
It does not fit a Volvo. So Al, you had talked with Mike?
I did, and what I found out was that as much as he had gone around and gotten quotes, what he was always looking for was the John Deere, because we have implements, et cetera, that only will fit that one piece of equipment. That being said, I've been advised that the John Deere is on the state bid, so you could feel free and comfortable moving it tonight.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? I get a motion to approve highway purchasing a payloader from 5-star John Deere at $260,404.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else?
That's it.
Anything on anything?
Just had a couple water breaks we fixed the last couple weeks around the escarpment. We fixed one today on the mountain, and we fixed one Saturday on Klein.
I know the village had a few today as well, because I didn't have water for about 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah, right up the street, so, at least it wasn't 10 degrees below, so, thanks. Bob?
I'll find Mr. Russell.
Okay. Al, you're on the agenda.
I was just going to ask Mr. Masters, were you going to introduce your fee schedule tonight?
I didn't know that was on my to-do list.
Well, I just figured we would do it under your agenda if it makes sense.
Okay, I didn't have anything prepared for them.
Okay.
I think, did everybody see the fee schedule in the emails? You emailed it to everybody.
Yeah,
Did you have any questions on it?
I don't think so.
I could update everybody here. We had a meeting today with Mr. Lannon in Town Hall. There's been a number of updates that have been needing to have been made, some to the language, but mostly to the fees. They're very outdated. It did not cover the expenses that the town incurred for various applications. So if there are no questions, I would, because of the applications that may be coming in, because it's springtime, we'd like these fees to apply to those.
Which fees, if I may ask, did increase?
I'll defer to Tim.
So a lot of the changes would be review fees. We define recreation fees with regards to the town code used to say per lot. The problem was a lot of the PUDs or business scenarios might only have one lot on them, but it might have 200 apartments on it.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, or like, for example, whenever they did Northridge Drive, and they had each one lot, but they put two family houses on each lot. So a lot of the fees are just catching up with that scenario that wasn't addressed in the past. And then the fee schedule that is currently in place was last updated, not in its entirety, just in a few places in 2021. So it's been a while, and it wasn't covering our cost for engineer review fee. The town wasn't making enough money to have the department reviews, getting to the planning board and the town board without losing money. So that was the reason for it. So it was really a wholesale change, not in every line, but it's from a one lot split all the way to a clay mine or a tower or a major subdivision. It's a wholesale change, trying to bring it up to current market values.
The fee schedule for the one lot split, that was in addition, you had a fee schedule for one lot split before it was under minor subdivision, right?
Correct. Before it just said one lot, 1 to 4 lots is all it said, right? So
Under
that,
minor.
And so then, based on what Wendell's review, they said, really, you should just make it a one lot split, simplify it for a one lot split, and then go from 2 to 4, and then a 4 major, and then a major without improvements, a major with improvements. So we kind of went through the whole thing. So today reflects more of an accurate.
Right, the PUD fee schedule was added as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the other problem. We never had a PUD fee schedule. So all the PUDs that were coming in, we were kind of having to get estimates and, you know, for our engineer review fees, for how long the review was going to take. And like I say, most PUDs are on one lot. You might have, like, Legacy Drive, you might have 60 units on one lot. Well, that wasn't accurately reflected in our fee schedule. So.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. So you've gone to 1 lot split, minor subdivision, less than 4 lots, major subdivision, no public improvements, which is greater than equal to 4 lots, major subdivision with public improvements greater than 4 units or 4 lots. And then you have the planned use development, commercial industrial site plans, and then your stormwater pollution prevention plan, your SWIP review, environmental seeker review, and then others. So all of those topics have been brought.
Yeah, and then the other new one that wasn't on there was, we never had anything in there for the sewer treatment plant regarding a downstream capacity review analysis. You know, how much do we charge for that? Who pays for it? You know, when do they submit it? Or the 4-to-1 offset fee for a new sewer system. You know, all that now is reflected in this new, those fees came from Jeff Ritter, so he could accurately get that in the fee schedule
Okay,
too.
and that's
So
the sanitary
yeah.
sewer and IMA
correct.
line? Okay,
Yep. That's a new section.
okay.
And I know Tim's been working on this for quite a
Long
while.
time.
Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah.
something that
Right.
I've talked to them about it. So if nobody has any more questions, I'd like a motion to approve the new fee schedule.
I will make that motion to approve the new fee schedule as stated.
We have a motion and a second. Any more questions for Tim? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Bill, for catching that. Melinda Olick, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Well, we're back open. We had our, water problem, broken, water line thing, whatever you wanna call it. So we're back up running today. I just wanted to mention that we still do have the Feedmore Western New York produce truck coming. They can't come every Wednesday like they were before because that one of their trucks was totaled, I think early in the fall. So they're trying to get that up running, but I will try to post on the website the day that they're usually coming once per month, but I'd like everyone to take advantage of that because it's a really nice thing and they come year round. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, we're just moving along. We have flower arranging on the 23rd and AARP tax prep, and there are really no tax appointments available at our site or at the Youngstown Church or at the John Duke Center, so I'm not really sure where anyone could go if they need an AARP or another kind of tax appointment like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
you're welcome.
All right, I think that covers everybody. And Ed's on the agenda. So, under old pending business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have nothing.
Yeah. The Essex Stormwater District.
Are we putting it on under old business? Or taking it
I thought
off?
that's where no, we're gonna hopefully make a vote on it.
Okay. So under old business, Essex Stormwater District.
Do we need to do another motion to amend?
No, I think he added it. I put no Essex, but I'm thinking that Essex.
Yes.
So he mentioned it and we put it on the agenda. So go ahead.
So as you're aware, there's been the public may not be aware, but there's the development off of Bronson Drive and Upper Mountain Road. It was initially slated for a stormwater district to be created. Unfortunately, that district had not been created between the time the initial developer developed it and then ultimately sold it to Mr. Nanula, who owns it now and is trying to develop. As you're aware, several homes have been sold in there, and we're very concerned about the development coming to full circle. After some negotiations, we found that as much as the town doesn't want to manage these things long term, that moving forward with the original plan is probably the easiest way. I've got some written assurances that I've circulated to the supervisor from the attorney for Essex Development that they, once we approve the stormwater district, will prepare all of the documents necessary to be vetted by the town and filed with the county clerk's office to put this into fruition. So this has been a long-standing issue relative to that particular development. I would just ask that we've had the public hearing, we've closed the public hearing, we just now need to vote on creating the stormwater district for, I don't remember the name, but Patio Homes at Essex Development, whatever that development is. And then I will move forward with the developer to make sure that this continues forward until it's complete.
I think it's Patios at Essex Ridge.
Thank you.
So I need a motion to establish a stormwater district at the homes, or Patio Homes at Essex Ridge.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Can I get a second? We have a motion, a second. Any questions for our attorney?
Yes. I have a question on the homes that have already been sold. How are they going to be addressed, and have they been notified as far as any type of assessment that they're going to receive for the stormwater?
They were notified of the public hearing, number one.
Okay.
None of them showed up, as you're aware. They've also, if they looked into the PUD, it was all part of that. That was going to always be the situation where there was going to be an additional tax associated with that sewer collection system. We don't have to worry about them. As you're aware, we were thinking about maybe doing an HOA and how we were going to fit those 8 or 9 homes into it. Now, because the stormwater district will encompass the whole development, they will pay their fair share and not more. And neither will any of the new homeowners pay any more than, again, their fair share out of proportionate.
Okay, so just for my understanding of it, it's not going to go, they're not going to pay that assessment to the HOA, that assessment is going to be paid to the town.
Exactly. It'll be collected by the town, and the town will either use local forces or town forces or contract for the remediation work that needs to be done with the monies that are collected.
Okay.
And just to clarify, you were on the planning board yet, or the town board?
No, I just had gotten on, went after I think that had passed.
Yeah. So when we originally did it, it was a stormwater district, and the appealing thing was, there's no homes there, so it's easy access. You know, we learned from Wolf Run, we had a problem because we have limited access, and the access we do have is right to people's yards, and it just, so this was actually kind of a win-win when we first did it. Now, in the future, I think the town has come to realize we don't want any stormwater district, but this was the original deal. They stepped in and said, if we could possibly put this in the homeowners association, we're like, great, that would be the best for everybody. And I think they backed away from that and wanted us to establish a stormwater district, which that was their original agreement. And like I said, going forward, I think we'll avoid these, but this one is an accessible one if we had to do it. If we have the funds, we can contract everything out. So I'm comfortable with the stormwater district, because that was the original. If it wasn't the original, I probably wouldn't be in favor of it, but that was the original deal. So, does anybody else have any questions? So with that, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Under my liaison report, Ed, you're on. Okay, so we have Riverfront Park bathroom project. So what this is real quick is we have the outfall building at Riverfront Park, and as part of our Greenway project down there, we were trying to find a way to put bathrooms into that building. It is a structure that's part of our sewer treatment plant. It's the outfall for the water, which goes under that building. So with Ed's recommendation, we hired, a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago, we hired an architect. He came in, designed a plan. Ed worked with him, Ed did all the work, he laid it out on my desk and said, what do you want to change? Then Tim came in and said, here's a couple of recommendations. We all agreed. Ed went back to him, and we have the finished project. So what we're looking for is to approve Ed. Ed's been taking this and running with it, with Al's assistant, putting it out to bid. So I would ask for a motion to put the Riverfront Park bathroom project out to bid.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, anybody opposed? Good. So that took care of that one. So then the police station. I'm gonna let Ed explain a little bit more. So we were given the police station, well, we bought the police station from Newport for $1, correct?
Correct.
Did you pay them? Okay. So when they gave us the police station at the school, they had engineered drawings or an engineer come up with construction problems that were down there that need to be addressed. Windows, doors, and a roof. It's got a skylight that's leaking. And there were some other repairs that needed to be done per New York State for schools. We don't have to do them, or it's not going to be accessible to the public, so some of them we don't have to do. So Ed has stepped in and has helped with the roof, the windows and the doors, and we want to put that out to bid, correct?
Correct.
And you've talked to, I think, companies that do all three of them, correct?
Yep.
So Ed's going to put together, he's going to work with the chief and with Al as far as putting it out to bid, and we'd like to get that project put out to bid as well. And there's 3 separate projects, right?
We're gonna handle them as 3 separate projects.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it would be putting out 3 separate projects for our police station out to bid. I'd ask for a motion to allow Ed, with Al's assistance, to put those out to bid.
Okay, motion as stated to send those out to bid for the police station.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. And real quick, we'll do, under legal, we'll start with the resolution for Riverfront Park. So I'm gonna let Al take over, but unfortunately, the winning bid, the company, has not been successful. Project was supposed to be done on December 12th, I believe. They're nowhere near completion. They haven't even started on the pier. As far as I'm concerned, got abandoned. They haven't been there in weeks. We asked them to basically not do any more work at this time, and Al has presented or has a resolution. So go ahead, Al.
Thank you, and just so the public is aware, Mr. Lannon has also kind of corroborated the fact that some of the work, not only the work that hasn't been done, but some of the work that has been done is defective and needs correction. That hasn't been done either. We follow through with the protocol that's presented to us or laid out by the contract, and this is just one of those steps before we call out on the bond. The bond is a performance bond which protects the town in that if the underlying contractor fails to perform, that's why it's called a performance bond, we can gain access to this insurance policy, if you will, to have a contractor come in and actually finish it according to spec. So this resolution is a resolution declaring the contractor default and authorizing the calling of the performance bond for the Riverfront Park Pavilion and Fishing Pier Project, contract number 2025-1, bond number L277336-218. Whereas the town of Lewiston, New York, 1375 Ridge Road, Lewiston, New York 14092, the municipality entered into a written agreement dated May 29, 2025. The quote contract with Murdaugh Development, Concrete and Masonry Incorporated, 515 Pavement Road, Suite 9, Lancaster, New York, 14086. The contractor for the construction of a pavilion and fishing pier in the town of Lewiston Riverfront Park, the project. And whereas the contract requires the contractor to furnish a performance bond in the full amount of the contract sum issued by Lexington National Insurance Corporation, the surety, to guarantee faithful performance under the contract pursuant to the New York State law and the contract documents. And whereas the contractor has materially failed to perform its obligations under the contract, including but not limited to failure to prosecute the work with sufficient labor and materials to maintain the project schedule, failure to complete the work within the time required under the contract, failure to correct defective or non-conforming work, failure to pay suppliers, subcontractors who have provided materials and or substantially performed under the contract, abandonment and or substantial suspension of work without justification and or other material breaches as documented by the municipality's engineer in written notices. And whereas the municipality has provided written notices of default and provided an opportunity to cure to the contractor pursuant to the terms of the contract, and the contractor has failed and or refuses to cure such defaults within the time required, and whereas pursuant to the terms of the contract and the performance bond, the municipality is entitled to declare the contractor in default and demand that the surety performance obligations under the performance bond. And whereas the municipality finds that it is in the public interest to declare the contractor in default and to call upon the surety to complete the project and or pay damages as provided in the performance bond. Now therefore be it resolved, declaration of default, the town of Lewiston, the town board of the town of Lewiston hereby formally declares Murdoch Development Concrete and Masonry Incorporated in default under the contract for the construction of the Riverfront Park project. 2. Termination of contractor's rights to proceed. The contractor's right to proceed with the work is hereby terminated effective immediately, subject to the terms of the contract. 3. Calling of performance bond. The supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to formally notify Lexington National Insurance Corporation that the contractor has been declared in default and to demand that the surety promptly perform its obligations under the performance bond, including but not limited to arranging for the completion of the work, undertaking performance directly, or paying the municipality the cost of completion and other damages covered under the bond. Authorization of legal action. The town attorney is hereby authorized to take all necessary legal actions to enforce the municipality's rights under the contractor's performance bond, including commencement of litigation if necessary. Completion of the project. The appropriate municipal officers are hereby authorized to take all necessary and proper action to secure the completion of the project in accordance with the contract documents and to protect the municipality's interests. Severability. If any provision of this resolution is held invalid, the remainder shall remain in full force and effect. Effective date. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption and adopted this 9th day of March 2026 by the town board of the town of Lewiston, New York.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the resolution? Was the resolution 2025 or 2026?
It was a 2026 resolution, but it's reflecting, the contract of
Okay.
2025-1.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the resolution as presented from attorney.
I'll make that motion to enact performance bond.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions? I want to say how disappointed I am. Tim Masters, Ed Zimmerman, I think Bob was there. We sat down with the developer or the contractor, told him how important our Lower River Road Park was to us. It's the premier park in the town of Lewiston. It's beautiful so far. We really want to polish it off and make it really special. And they failed us miserably, and it's very disappointing. So with that, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then with that, I have a certified letter that'll be going out this evening. Actually, I would have to be tomorrow, but I did it for today.
You have to sign it?
No, it's coming from my office.
Okay. And with that, I would ask for a motion to move into executive session for a consultation with the attorney that we will be coming back out, and we may take action on that executive session. So I'll only give a few minutes. So
Motion to enter into executive session.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We'll be right back. Oh, and we're inviting Tim Masters into that executive session.
You know what, Bob Lane, can you come too?
That's it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No.
There you go. That'd be good.
I'm fired.
Okay, we're back. So Al, you want to give the explanation?
Sure. So I brought the town board into executive session to discuss a particular lot on the corner of Saunders Settlement and Garlow Road. That property has been an issue for the town from a compliance standpoint for a very, very long time. It had recently sold on a land contract, and unfortunately it had gone south. I've had some conversation with the realtor who handled that transaction. She had actually approached the town to see if the town possibly would be interested in negotiating something with the prior owner. I advised her that I would bring it up to the town board, which I have, and if it pleases the town board, I'd be asking you to authorize me to enter into negotiations with the homeowner himself. The realtor has since removed herself from circumstance. She's a relative of the current owner, but I would negotiate directly with the current owner. There are some legal hurdles to overcome, which again I would take care of as part of my authority from the board.
Okay, so you need a resolution
Authorizing me to enter into discussions / negotiations with the current owner. I don't know the address. I apologize about not knowing
I
that.
think it's on the picture, 1611, I think it is.
The northwest.
1611 Saunders Settlement.
Okay,
That's it.
can I get a motion to proceed, have our attorney proceed with, what's the address again?
1611
1611 Saunders Settlement, purchased by the town.
Motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second? We have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And I'll keep the board updated with my project.
Okay, thank you very much. Finance, budget revisions, I went over all the budget revisions with Jackie. Jackie's on vacation, so we went over them Friday, and I would ask for a motion to approve the budget revisions as presented.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Councilman Byrd.
I have 5 new hires for Lewiston Fire Company. So I'll be looking for a motion to approve the following people: Allison Smith, Louis Zimmerman, Kaylin Drury, Mike Swanson Jr., and Drew Conrad.
That's a motion, can I get a second? Motion and a second to add those to the Lewiston Fire Company number 2. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Councilman Morel is on vacation. Councilman Myers.
It's a communication from St. Warren Area Historical Society that they have their regular meeting coming up on Tuesday, March 24th at 7 p.m. at the Farm Museum. And they have a speaker series entitled 1950 Theme Dolls by Carol Buckland. Refreshments are served, public's invited, donations are accepted.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Wachter.
I don't, yeah, do you want me to talk about the?
If you'd like, sure.
Okay, so, Al and I have been working on a moratorium on the large data centers, artificial intelligence, I guess storage facilities, and also crypto mining. We're looking to actually have it on the agenda for our next meeting, but after attending the Association of Towns, it became a realization that Lewiston isn't a prime location for these entities to move in. And I think it's behooves the town to start looking into writing a law prior to having any of these companies or organizations move in. So the intent of it is to be able to get ahead of it, as where solar, we were kind of backpedaling a little bit. So that's the intent of it. And part of what had come out of actually researching the moratorium is that our wastewater treatment plant would be woefully unprepared to actually deal with the downflow of the wastewater that would come off of such a facility. In a lot of the facilities, they use what is called a biocide in order to keep their pipes clean for their computing and for their cooling. And that biocide, in the amount, if it were to enter our wastewater treatment plant, it would completely destroy the biome that's currently being used for digestion. So I think it's an important thing that we get out in front of. So we'll look for that at the next meeting. And then also, I just want to give kudos to Belinda and to Tim. The AARP tax prep is a wonderful service that we're offering to our seniors in the community. I was at the center on a Friday, and there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of that service. And then also casino night was Saturday night. Had a good time. Didn't win very much, so I'm not a very lucky person in that regard. But it was a wonderful event to get out and to see people from across the community.
Great, thank you. Okay, with that privilege of the floor, I don't see anybody. Young man, you want to speak?
No, thank you.
Upcoming boards and commission meetings, the historic preservation, I believe, has been canceled for March 10th, is that correct? I believe you canceled it. Zoning board is March 12th at 6 p.m. There is no planning board meeting on March 19th, as there was no activity. Our next town board meeting is March 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. I would ask everybody to have a very safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. Please be safe. And with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion.
Second.
A motion, a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.